Hello. Oh, the bangs are doing odd things. They're getting long and they want to part at my natural part because they're heavy right now. Hi, everybody. Amy Jill. I'm Phil. Welcome in. Hey, Tay. Just remembered I'll probably want this guy.
Fresh pots!
Fresh pots indeed. My plan for today is to just be real chill. Throwing big, or bigger than I usually do. But I'm not really feeling up to trying to pump out a bunch of stuff today. I don't know. I'm feeling off today, but we are too far out and too low. Yeah, I'm just kind of feeling, I said it earlier to Mr. Salt, kind of weak today, which is weird, but I don't know. I thought maybe it was like my blood pressure was a little low, but I don't know. I had a little bit of lunch and was a little bit better, but not like a lot better, so I don't know. We're just gonna kind of take it easy today. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So we're just gonna... Hey, Brooksy, welcome in. I'm doing well. Oh, my nose has been itchy all day, though. I do need to prep this clay. I don't quite know how much clay I'm gonna need for this piece. My goal, roughly, in the end, is 8 by 8. So I'm throwing to closer to 9 by 9 at minimum. How big do we need to go? A lot of that's going to take up the base. I'm just going to... I don't know. I think maybe 7 or 8 pounds of clay. We'll see. We'll see. If the first one we do doesn't work out, then depending on how much time we've got left, we can always throw another one. But we gotta get clay to do that. So, what? Yeah, let's start with, I don't know, 8 pounds. I might center it in 2 4-pound blocks just for ease. Yeah, a whole sizable baby. And we'll see. If it ends up not being enough, then we'll throw another one. The trick is having enough clay once you get it opened up and out to actually get the walls up as high as you need them. That's 4.5. Welcome in, Zio. I'm not going to be real exact here just because, like I said, don't know how much I'm going to need. And it's better, like, better to have too much than not enough. So, we got grass in our clay. Or blue plastic, one or the other. I forget if this is my reclaimed clay or not. Binging all the content, trying to improve? Welcome in. If you have any questions, Yo, please feel free to ask. I am happy to nerd out about pottery. If somebody wouldn't mind doing the clay buds command, sticking that in there. It's a list of other potters here on Twitch. There are a couple more than are on that list. But those are the ones that I know pretty well, but stream relatively regularly. This is probably closer to 5 pounds, if not 6. Like 5 3/4. We're going big, might as well. Put this over here. Welcome in. Oh, it's not even Zio, it's Zelo. Apologies. Or Zlo. Please correct me. It's funny, the day I'm feeling kind of weak, we're just gonna throw large amounts of clay. I haven't thrown big in a little while either. We'll see how we go. The key is we can take it nice and slow. But best thing to do for a lot of clay to begin with is set yourself up to succeed, right? It doesn't help to start with a piece that's like lopsided already, because you're just gonna fight it more. Apologies about any shaky camera right now. Deep breaths. Ooh, I may need to move that other camera back for throwing this much clay. Ooh, sheared that off. That's what happens when you open your hand funny. This one was roughly like 5 3/4 pounds, and then the second one I'm gonna put on here is like 4.5. I don't usually throw this big, but my husband needs a planter and a big one. 3.5, yeah. 3.5's a good size. That's usually like my standard kind of like larger pieces that I typically make are around 3.5. 3.5 or 4. And so I'll lose a lot more here because like I said, I don't usually throw this much clay. Less than 1. Yeah, starting off, it's not uncommon to start with 1 pound is usually a pretty good starter, just because smaller than that is kind of difficult to get your hands around. Yeah. I'm always happy to encourage people to throw. Or work with clay in general. I think if you can't throw, hand building can also be really fun. That's pretty nice right there. Since we don't need to go very tall, we can come down. We don't need to go very tall. We're going wide first, right? So it doesn't have to stay up here. Body recovery. Exactly. I had, at the beginning of the pandemic, I didn't have a wheel. But was like, oh, I still want to work with clay. So I had a lot of fun coil building. And you can get big coil building, you know, like, because you're just adding as you go. You can also get some really cool shapes. Let's see whereabouts we are here. Yeah, we can come down a little bit more.
Shapes.
Thank you for the shapes. Yeah, so coil building is like, one of the things that I liked about it is you can be sitting watching a show and coil build. Like, it's very, you don't have, I don't know, it's more relaxed. And you can certainly, as long as you know and adhere to like the basics of clay, right? You're slipping and scoring, you're making sure everything is attached, you're keeping things at relatively consistent moisture levels, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with coil building. Air dry. So air dry clay is cool. Like, it's a good way to accessibly get a hold of clay. However, it is very fragile. So you also can't make anything like functional. And when I say functional, I put quotes around that, in that functional means like cups, bowls, dinnerware, anything like that. You can certainly make decorative things with it. But it is fragile, so you do have to be mindful of that. Clay Studio. Ah, gotcha. I think this is probably a good place to be, and then we can come out a little bit so it's got a nice shape to it. All right, so I don't know how much extra clay we need here, but we're going to put some on. So this is a good trick if you're trying to throw bigger but have trouble centering larger amounts of clay. center a smaller amount of clay first. Let me get the slip off my hand so when I add this, I should have prepared that other piece a little bit better before I got my hands covered in slip. Hang on. Making it wider, it's just a matter of lowering force. For going down this way, coming down, and letting it go, a little bit. You keep that outside hand out there to help guide. Because it is easy to throw it off center when you're coming down. Just because it's all about like nice, equal, smooth movements, and naturally we don't do that very well, right? So as you're coming down, yes, you're bearing down, but having this hand out here to keep this in line is also important. So we have this centered, right? For the most part. Let me put this back up here before I get my hands all dirty. I did not put that on nice and centered, which is fine. We'll see how difficult we made our job. But we do want to make sure. You know what? Let's make our job easier. There's no... We're not gonna like try and a little bit better, a little bit more equal. We do want to make sure that we push this skirt down though, because we don't want air or water getting trapped in there. Hey, Josh. How are you? Thank you. So our plan here is to try not to touch this part because we spent a good amount of time centering that. Very sleepy? I'm doing okay. I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably too much clay. But like I said, better to have too much than not enough. Josh, have you talked to Kami at all? I've seen some of his Instagram stories, but... Yes, I can remove some if I've got too much. a wonderful time. That's what he popped into Babe Ross's chat for a little bit and mentioned that, like, he doesn't want to leave. Good, I'm glad. For those that aren't aware, our good friend Kamikaze Mixtape is in Japan right now. And loving it. Good. Good for him. It does sound very fun.